Before we dive into today's gripping story, we want to take a moment to appreciate you, our amazing subscribers, new viewers, and the incredible community that makes Moonlight Tales by Samzy so special. Your likes, shares, and thoughtful comments mean the world to us, and we're beyond grateful for your support. If this is your first time here, welcome. You're in for a ride filled with drama, suspense, and unexpected twists. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest stories. And of course, drop a comment below. We love hearing from you, and your support keeps us going. Now, sit back, relax, and let's dive right back into the story, because things are about to get even more intense. She felt safe. She felt seen. And she knew, deep in her heart, that everything was going to be okay. It was a quiet morning. The sunlight slipped through the curtains softly, and birds chirped outside their window. Daisy lay in bed beside Joel, her head resting gently on his chest. His arms were wrapped around her, holding her close like she was something fragile yet precious. Her eyes were still getting used to light, but the world already looked so different, so alive. Joel smiled as he ran his fingers through her hair. "How are you feeling today, love?" he asked softly. "Happy," Daisy whispered with a smile. "Really happy." They stayed like that for a while, just holding each other in silence. Then Joel spoke again. "I've been wondering, what would you do if you saw your aunt and uncle again?" The question fell like a stone in the stillness. Daisy's smile slowly faded. Her fingers stopped tracing the patterns on his shirt. Her heart began to pound. Joel noticed the sudden change in her mood. "I'm sorry," he said quickly, brushing her cheek. "I didn't mean to upset you." "No," Daisy said, her voice low. "You didn't upset me. I wasn't expecting that question." She sat up slowly and looked out the window. Her eyes didn't sparkle now. They looked far away, like they were staring at something painful only she could see. "I used to dream about it, you know," she began. "About them standing in front of me and seeing what I've become. Strong. Whole. Not broken like they left me." Joel listened quietly. "I was just a little girl when I lost my parents," she said. "And Auntie Angela promised to take care of me. But instead, she turned my life into a nightmare." Her hands trembled slightly. Joel reached out and held one of them, squeezing gently. "She didn't treat me like family. She treated me like a slave. I cooked, I cleaned, I did everything, even when I was sick. Naomi, her daughter, laughed at me every day. She would call me names, hide my things, even hit me sometimes." Daisy's voice broke, but she kept going. "There were days I didn't eat. I drank water Auntie Angela used to wash raw fish. She said that was the only water I deserved." Joel's eyes filled with tears. "Oh, Daisy." She swallowed hard. "When I went blind, it got worse. They said I was useless. They laughed at me. One day, she told me she found a husband for me, a sick man with HIV. She said I was lucky someone wanted me." Tears rolled down her cheeks now. "I begged her. I cried. I told her I didn't want to get married. I was only a girl. But she didn't care. She forced me to go through with it. And Naomi did my makeup that day, horrible makeup. Everyone laughed at me. On my own wedding day." She paused, breathing shakily. Joel wiped her tears gently, his heart breaking with every word. "I used to pray for death," she whispered. "Every night, I prayed God would just take me away. I didn't think I'd ever be free." She turned to Joel now, her eyes wet but burning with strength. "That's why I can't forgive them. Not yet. Maybe not ever. They didn't just hurt me, they destroyed me. And they never once said sorry." Joel nodded slowly. You don't have to forgive them, Daisy. Not if you're not ready. You don't owe them that. You've survived so much. You deserve peace. Daisy looked at him with soft eyes. You gave me that, Joel. You gave me everything I never had: kindness, patience, love. You showed me I'm not broken. You made me feel human again. Joel pulled her into his arms tightly. I'll keep showing you, every day, for the rest of my life. She held onto him, closing her eyes. If I ever see them again, she said quietly, I want them to see me like this, strong, happy, and standing beside the man who loves me. That would be the best revenge. Joel smiled and kissed her forehead. And I'll be right here, every step of the way. It was a sunny afternoon. The light peeked gently through the curtains, and Daisy was relaxing on the couch with Joel. They were laughing quietly as she tried a new lipstick shade she learned in her makeup class. Joel teased her gently, calling her a beauty queen. She smiled and leaned on his shoulder, feeling peace like never before. Then, the doorbell rang. The maid rushed to the living room. Ma'am, there are 3 people at the gate. They say they are your family. Uncle Tom, Auntie Angela, and Naomi. Daisy froze. Her smile disappeared. Joel sat up quickly, noticing her change. Do you want me to send them away? Daisy shook her head slowly. No, she said firmly. Let them in. I want to look them in the eyes. Joel held her hand tightly. I'm right here. A few moments later, the door opened, and in walked Uncle Tom, Auntie Angela, and Naomi. They stood at the entrance, blinking in shock, their eyes scanning the large, shining room with golden curtains and a crystal chandelier hanging in the center. Naomi whispered to her mother, Are we sure this is the right house? Angela answered under her breath, Keep quiet and follow my lead. They still hadn't noticed Daisy. Then, Daisy stepped forward. She looked stunning, her face glowing, her makeup clean and bright, her dress perfectly fitted. She stood tall, eyes focused, shoulders straight. Angela squinted. Good afternoon, she began, her fake smile wide. We are here to see Daisy. I'm right here, Daisy said calmly. Angela's eyes grew wide. Naomi gasped. Uncle Tom bent his head. No, that can't be, Naomi stuttered. Daisy? Yes. I'm Daisy, she replied. You can see? Auntie Angela asked, blinking fast. Yes, I can see very well now, Daisy said. And I can see clearly how shocked you are. Angela laughed nervously. Oh, sweetheart, we're just surprised. You look so beautiful, my child. Who is your child? Daisy snapped. You lost the right to call me that the moment you made my life hell. Angela's smile dropped. She looked to Uncle Tom for help. He stepped forward. Daisy, I'm so sorry. I failed you. I should have protected you. I didn't have the strength back then. But I'm truly sorry. Naomi tried to speak, but Daisy raised her hand. Do you remember how you used to laugh when your friends pushed me down? She asked her cousin. Do you remember pouring soapy water on my clothes? Or calling me a burden? Naomi's mouth opened, then closed again. And you, Daisy turned to Angela, her voice trembling. You made me drink water used to wash fish. You locked me out in the cold. You forced me to marry a man you thought had HIV because you wanted me gone. Angela tried to interrupt. Daisy, please. No! I'm not done, Daisy said, her voice firm now. You dressed me in hideous makeup on my wedding day so people would laugh at me. And you were right there, smiling, while they did. What kind of mother does that? Angela stepped forward, hands clasped. I was just trying to make things easier for us. Times were hard. Naomi couldn't get into the university. And you thought I didn't deserve to live happily because of that? Daisy interrupted. Angela fell to her knees. Please, forgive us. We've come to ask for your help. Your uncle lost his job. Naomi can't go to school. Things are bad. Joel came downstairs just then. He gave a polite nod but stood beside Daisy silently. Angela's eyes lit up at the sight of him. Sir Joel. We've heard of your kindness. God bless you for helping our Daisy. Joel didn't respond. He looked at Daisy, waiting for her lead. Daisy turned to Uncle Tom. I forgive you. You were weak, but you didn't hurt me with your own hands. I hope you'll do better for Naomi. She then faced Angela and Naomi. But you too, she said coldly, will never get forgiveness from me. I want you to live with what you did. You thought I'd be nothing. But look at me now. I survived, and I see everything clearly. Angela began to cry loudly, still on her knees. Naomi held her hand, ashamed and quiet. Joel placed a hand on Daisy's shoulder, proud. Daisy took a deep breath. You can leave now. This house is filled with peace, and you're not welcome here. With that, she turned around and walked away, her head high. For the first time ever, she wasn't afraid of them. She was stronger, and she could finally see. Joel blinked, confused. What do you mean? He asked softly. Daisy turned to face her relatives, who had suddenly gone still. Then, with a deep breath, she began to speak. They starved me. For days, I'd have to drink the same water Auntie Angela used to wash raw fish. She said it was all I deserved. Joel's jaw tightened. His grip on Daisy's hand grew firmer. He didn't say a word yet, he just listened. I was blind and helpless, and they treated me like a disease, Daisy continued, her voice trembling. Naomi and her friends mocked me every single day. They called me names, pushed me around, even threw my cane away once. They laughed when I tripped and fell. Naomi's eyes widened. I didn't mean to, she started to say, but Joel shot her a look that made her lips clamp shut immediately. I begged Auntie Angela for love, for help, for a little kindness, Daisy went on. She gave me beatings instead. She said no one would ever want a blind girl like me. That I was better off dead. Joel's breathing had become shallow. His heart felt like it was breaking piece by piece. You went through all of that, he whispered, barely able to speak. And that's not all, Daisy said, looking straight at her aunt. She forced me to marry you thinking you had HIV. She wanted to throw me away, like garbage. She didn't care if I lived or died. Joel turned his gaze to Auntie Angela. His eyes were full of quiet rage. You knew what you were doing when you sent her to me? You did it because you thought I was sick? Angela fidgeted with the hem of her wrapper, trying to look sad. It wasn't like that, Joel. We were just worried. Joel's voice was low but firm. No. You weren't worried. You were cruel. You treated her worse than a stranger. And now you're here pretending to care because you've seen the woman she's become. Uncle Tom lowered his head in shame. Joel, I didn't know the full extent of it. I failed her. You didn't just fail her, Joel snapped. You stood by and watched. You let your wife destroy her. You didn't protect her. And now you're asking for help? After all she's been through? Daisy had begun to cry silently. Joel immediately turned and wrapped his arms around her, pulling her close. You're safe now, he whispered into her hair. They can't hurt you anymore. Not ever again. He looked up, his voice now cold and clear. You all need to leave. You have no place here. Daisy has rebuilt her life without you. She found light in the darkness. And I won't let anyone dim that light again. Auntie Angela dropped to her knees, wailing. Please, we're sorry. But Joel didn't even flinch. He held Daisy tighter. You're only sorry because you want something, he said. But you'll get nothing from her. Not forgiveness. Not money. Nothing. The silence that followed was thick with truth. Naomi sniffled, realizing that all their fake apologies had been useless. Uncle Tom gave one last glance at Daisy before leading them all out of the house. When the door closed behind them, Joel looked at Daisy, tears filling his own eyes now. You are the strongest woman I've ever met, he said. And I am proud, so proud to be your husband. And for the first time in a long time, Daisy believed it. Caro wasn't always a bad person. She was just a woman who had been through too much pain and disappointment. She had no children after years of marriage, and every time she saw mothers with their babies, her heart would break into pieces. Her husband didn't treat her well either. He blamed her for everything, especially for not being able to have a child. Life was tough, and Caro was tired. So when Auntie Angela came to her with a secret offer, Caro didn't think twice. Angela promised her good money if she would make life miserable for a blind girl who had just gotten married. She's weak, Angela said. Blind, useless, and annoying. I want her to leave that house for good. Caro was surprised. She asked Angela who the girl was, and Angela told her it was her own niece, Daisy. Caro was shocked, but the hunger in her stomach and the fear of her own problems pushed her to say yes. She needed the money. So Caro agreed. She began her mission by pretending to be nice to Daisy, but behind the scenes, she was cruel. She would pour water in front of Daisy's door so she would slip. She would mix hot pepper into the bathing water. She would leave sharp objects where Daisy walked. She even shouted at her, laughed when she fell, and spread lies about her in the neighborhood. All this, just to make Daisy feel hopeless. All this, just for money. But years later, Caro's life got worse. The money Angela gave her wasn't enough, and she never paid the full amount. Caro waited, called, and begged, but Angela stopped answering her calls. She blocked Caro's number and started avoiding her. Caro couldn't sleep. Her nights were filled with dreams of Daisy crying and calling for help. She started feeling guilty. Every time she saw someone blind or helpless, her heart would sink. She went to prayer houses and herbal homes to find a cure for her barrenness, but nothing worked. One day, she visited a powerful seer, an old woman known to tell the truth no matter how painful it was. The seer sat quietly as Caro explained her life. When Caro was done speaking, the seer opened her eyes slowly and said, "You are carrying a curse. A heavy one. You brought pain to someone who did not harm you. You tortured a blind girl for money. Until you confess and seek forgiveness, you will not know peace. Your womb is shut because of your own actions.